this passage really hit me today, and I figured I'd share it with you. All right, so listen to this. Covenant friendship. Communication happens in unexpected ways between people who need no audible speech. Their language is a quick glance or a soft pat on the shoulder. Their communication is a concerned look when all is not well. They know what you mean before you even say it. Anybody have a friend like that? They already know what you're going to say before you say it, and they know what you mean. Like, they get you. You know what I mean? When you are in a covenant friendship, you do not leave. In a true covenant friendship, you are stuck like glue to your friend. This is a wealth that causes street people to smile in the rain and laugh at a storm. They have no coats to warm them. Their only flame may be the friendship of someone who understands their daily struggles. In this regard, many rich people are poor. They have things, but they lack deep compassion. The greatest blessings of life cannot be bought. Children understand the rich art of relationship. Their anger flares for an instant, but soon melts in the sunshine of laughter and play. Most adults, however, have been hardened by unforgiveness, created from the remembered pain of what has or have been spoken against them and stolen from them. Rehearsing offenses prohibits friendship. It's time to be grown up enough to forgive like a child. Friendship is not a blood relationship, so friends must forge their bond in other ways. It may be through mutual interest, shared passions, or all the lovely little things that bond two hearts together. Friendship is a sanctuary carved out of the jungle of a mad world where so many people see each other as prey instead of partners. These people never understand the power and commitment of covenant friendship, but you can. If you already have a covenant friend, savor your days together. If you don't have such a friend, ask God, the covenant maker, to send you a partner of the heart. And this made me think about 1 Samuel 20, verses 16 through 17, where Jonathan and David were best friends in the Bible. And Jonathan was the son of King Saul, and King Saul was out to harm David. And so what Jonathan said to David was, I'm going to let you know if my father's going to hurt you, and I'm going to protect you from him hurting you. That's how much he loved him. And if you go to the scripture, it says here in 16 through 17, like I said, 1 Samuel 16 through 17. So Jonathan made a covenant with the house of David, saying, let the Lord require it at the hand of David's enemies. Now Jonathan again accused David to vow, because he loved him, for he loved him as he loved his own soul. And to love somebody as you love yourself, that is true friendship. That's something that's so important to me when it comes to friendship, to make sure that whoever is my friend is someone that's going to love me just as much as they love themselves, because then I know that they won't set me up for failure, and that they'll be sure to encourage me, and to make sure that if I'm doing something that's not right, that they can, help to redirect me. And even in our grown stages of life, like now I'm 45 years old, but at the end of the day, a lot of times I still look or need that guidance. And most importantly, I try to get my guidance from God, but sometimes we do look for a person in the physical to be able to speak to us so we can see them, right? For me, that person was my mom and my dad. I lost my dad when I was younger. At 17 years old, I lost my mom 2 years ago. But when she was here, I was always able to go to her with the most embarrassing moments, the most complicated situations and circumstances, and she could always say, baby, it's going to be all right, baby. Don't do it that way, baby. God sees everything, baby. Let God handle it. She will always help to redirect me, because a lot of times, guess what? My flesh got the best of me, and I was ready to tear it up, if not with my hands, with my mouth. That was me, and so I can truly say that I've been delivered from that. There are some things that I'm still working on in regards to unforgiveness. And so I can definitely tell that I'm starting to be, I'm at a stage where I want to say that I know that I have forgiven. Sometimes I just question because I go back to it. So when I read that scripture, it came back to me because I was in a friendship, or have had friendships to where I was hurt. And it doesn't mean that I was the only person hurt. But I question, did I really forgive if I'm constantly going back over it, or remembering that pain or hurt that person caused me. And I don't know if I go back to it at times from conversations. I don't know if I go back to it to express to someone that I understand. I guess in my mind, I'm feeling like if I never bring it back up, that means that I forgive. I've forgiven the person or persons. But in my heart, I do feel that I forgave the person and or persons. My intentions have never been to hurt someone purposely. Especially if it's someone I care about. I don't want to hurt anybody purposely with my mouth or with my hands. I was like that from younger, but more so now in my life. Like, to sit there and try to hurt someone intentionally at this point in my life would not make sense. I would cut my own blessings. I'm not willing to do that. I prefer to take a loss or sit back and say, do what you may, and respect how they feel about me or whatever decision they decide to make. I just don't have to be a part of it. I can love and love from a distance, but I do know that I have to forgive. If I want God to forgive me, He has forgiven me for so many things that I've done privately and in the open. We all have a past, and we all have things that we've done in private or where people may know about it, and it could be some of our embarrassing moments, right? But we are to learn from them and try to do better, because when you know better, you do better, right? At least it should be that way. And so I just try to make sure not to make those mistakes. And I definitely pray and continue to ask God to just, give me that discernment to make the right decisions in all aspects and areas of my life. So I've learned to forgive and move on. But I'm hoping to do better with it when it's coming to forgiving. Because I still feel like there's a little something there. And I think that I would know when it's all the way cleaned up, right? It doesn't hurt me like it used to hurt at one point. It's more so, I think that I'm at a point where I'm able to talk about it. Before, I would reference to it as, I'm upset, I'm mad. And then I realized it wasn't just those things. I was hurt. I was hurt because I was so close to the person. And a lot of times, if anyone's close to me, what you see is what you get. So if I'm around you and I have to hide how I am and how I live and what I'm doing, I really rather not be around you, because I don't want to have to do that. And I don't feel that if anyone's around me, they should have to do that. I believe in people being themselves and knowing that they're in a safe place, and that I'm always going to have their best interests at hand and at heart. And so I used to hold people to a standard that just because I was one way, I expected them to be that way. And I had to learn the hard way that not all people are like me. So I had to learn to forgive, and I'm just learn how to forgive, if I be honest. And like I said, I think I'm there, or almost there. But yeah, just make sure if you look to have a friendship, I would say try to have one like Jonathan and David. Peace.